All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm B, and on this channel we help you improve your confidence by way of compliments using the wonderful world of fragrance. If this is your second video or more, we ask that you hit the subscribe button so you can come back to rock with your boy. Today we're talking about a new release from the house of Paco Rabanne, and that fragrance is Phantom? Okay, listen, traditionally when you hear me talk about Phantom on this channel, we're talking about Black Phantom from the house of A.G.E, and this fragrance is far from it. So sit back, relax a little bit, and hear if this is going to be the new Phantom in your collection. So as unusual, we will go ahead and start off with a more detailed review of the presentation. Now, I was about to smash this box and I figured maybe one of you out there would want to know this. So this fragrance, Phantom from Paco Rabanne, is again a 2021 release, and it's their first connected fragrance. Connected fragrance? What are you talking about? All right, so here's the deal. So if you have an NFC capable phone, near field communication, you go ahead and tap your phone here and it will connect to your bottle. Weird. All right. However, if you don't, you could always do a QR code scanner on the back here, and it takes you to this page. And on that page, you can do a few things. You can insert your new wingman, as they call it, into a photo of you, into a selfie, or you can go through and browse around through some Spotify list, okay, music list out there. You input a date and you choose a date, and they will upload songs that were #1 on that day. Interesting. I came across Mace and Diddy, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. I think I put in April 24th for whatever reason. Here we go. All right, so now we are done with that. If you're looking to do something like that, then there you have it. All right, so we're done with that. Now we're talking about the actual presentation here. And this is what you got here, man. This is a full twist off cap. I won't fully twist it off, but a full twist off cap for a refill. To me, that tells me that with this refill, they plan on this fragrance being around for a while, which to me means we can likely see flankers, etc. coming down the line. And it also says that it's their first NFC fragrance and that you can collect them. So I'm sure there will be more coming. All right, so here's the deal. All right, that distribution probably looked puny because I unsprayed it. There you go. All right, so that is your distribution. Obviously, I took the cap off of it, or was taking the cap off. So I'm sure that played some type of role in that first puny spray here that you guys got to see. But here's the deal, man. We've all seen fragrances that look like this. Now, we may not have seen this bottle specifically, but when I think of gimmicky bottles, I think of from Moschino, we got Toy Boy with the teddy bear there, although that is an amazing fragrance. And this one is really good as well. So do not let the bottle deter you from trying this one out. When I look at this bottle, it kind of reminds me of a kid's robot film. Doesn't exactly look like Wall-E, but maybe like a newer Wall-E or the Ari, My Robot movies or anything like that. You could kind of relate back to this. So when I think of this fragrance, before I get into the smell of this fragrance, I think of some of the marketing efforts done on this one and kind of the crowd, the people who would wear this fragrance. Now, with the purchase of this fragrance, I got a book bag. All right, we are in back to school time frame. The silver book bag, silver fragrance, and you would think that this fragrance is, generally speaking, geared toward those who may be like teenagers, right? Teenagers, maybe early 20s, you might have a fragrance like this, and I think that is a good starting point if you're looking to jump into this fragrance. Now, let me talk to you about some of the notes, and then I'll also tell you what I get from this fragrance and allow you to make your assessment from there. Now, in regards to the notes on this fragrance, if you ever go to any of the big box retailer sites and check this one out, the note breakdown is pretty simplistic. In the top here, you have lemon listed as a note. In the mid, we have lavender, and then in the base, we have vanilla, okay? And that's it in terms of the notes. But obviously, there's going to be much more in terms of what this fragrance offers. On first spray of this fragrance, I get something that is crisp, it's green, and slightly creamy and refreshing. As I mentioned, the top of this fragrance is said to have lemon there, but it has this green feel to it as well. It's lemon, right? Green, earthy, and not too earthy, right? So when I think of like earthy type of notes that come along in my head, I think of something like a rhubarb. Rhubarb is not that for this one. It could be a vetiver of some sort, but it's not like a super smoky vetiver at all that would be in this fragrance. It's just enough to add a little bit of earthiness or greenness to this fragrance, and I think it needs that, right? When you look at the notes for this fragrance, again, it's listed as lemon, lavender, and then vanilla, right? So lemon can be bright, it could be fresh, it could be clean, as well as when you think of lavender, it can be clean as well. And then vanilla kind of adds a little coziness, a little underlying sweetness to this fragrance. And I think that a note like vetiver, or I mentioned rhubarb within this fragrance as well, could add that, you know, earthiness to this fragrance to kind of help balance it out a bit. So I know what you're thinking, yo, B, I hear you about the notes. All right, I can see that. The bottle looks pretty ostentatious. Am I going to get compliments with this fragrance? And all in, I would say you will likely be able to pick up compliments with this fragrance, given that they don't see the bottle. Although I think the bottle is interesting and the thought process behind it is interesting as well. A lot of people will likely think that this bottle is cheesy, as they did with the Toy Boy. As they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes you can't judge a fragrance by its bottle. In this case here, I think that these are one of these situations where it's best to try it before you provide an ultimate judgment on the fragrance, all right? Because most cases, people will not see what you are spraying on. This fragrance to me does have this mass appeal quality to it, as a lot of Paco Rabanne fragrances do, as a lot of designer fragrances do as well. With that being said, it's not a completely revolutionary, groundbreaking fragrance that you will never tried before. It's not that. It's just a fragrance you can spray on and feel that you will be well received. In the terms of fragrances that come to mind of what this one smells like, one of the fragrances that I think is Versace Eros. Now, Eros, it's not like a super close replica of that at all, and I don't even think they set out to do that. But I am, to my nose, when I'm smelling this fragrance, I get little hints of what I would expect from Versace Eros. This one is for sure much fresher than that fragrance, and again, it's not like a clone or they set out to replicate this. When I think of the vanilla within this fragrance, I think of the lemon here. There's probably, again, some more earthy pieces here, whether it's patchouli in this fragrance or you know, rhubarb, or if it's going to be something along the lines of vetiver, as I mentioned. I still get some hints and tiebacks to a Versace Eros, and again, not that that has those notes, because I can't recall them all off the top of my head, but I do think it's reminiscent in an underlying way. If you're going to rock this fragrance, in terms of longevity, you can expect anywhere between 6 and 8 hours. If you were wondering in terms of projection on this fragrance, I would say before it gets to about the 2-hour mark or so, it begins to settle down some. Not that it goes away, but it doesn't project as much as it did in those first hour and a half to 2 hours or so. After that passes, time goes by, again, it sits closer to the skin, and it comes into something that I think is different, right? You start off super fresh, you get into something that's going to be a little earthy, green, slightly woody, and it has a lot going on within this fragrance, which is telling me that there's a lot more than those 3 notes that are listed. They probably just wanted to keep it simple, stupid, because there's a lot going on with the bottle. All right, all in, I think that this is a fragrance, again, that can get compliments. Is it going to be for everyone? Maybe, or maybe you might elect to go with something different, but I don't feel that this is going to be a fragrance that you know, you would hate, all right? Unless you're just hating on the presentation of the fragrance, but there's a lot going on. It's very different in terms of its presentation, and we start to read about it, the AI aspect of it. I think there's going to be a lot more to come down the line with a fragrance like this. So that's my thoughts and opinions on Phantom from the house of Paco Rabanne. I would love to know down below, have you tried this fragrance? If so, do you prefer Black Phantom or Phantom? here. All right, I would love to know that. All right, also again, man, age ranges of this fragrance, I think that initially the bulk of people who are going to wear this fragrance are probably going to be 25 and below. All right, I'm not saying that you're 30 and above that you couldn't wear this fragrance, but I think the bulk of people wearing this fragrance are going to be 25 and below. Just my thoughts and opinions there. Again, does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of the masses. That's all I have for you today. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard. Beat them with the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.